Hello and welcome back to episode 8 of the World Conquest speedrun. In the previous episode, we successfully took Cestadame Castle and Onica Castle, recruited our first noble pharaoh into the kingdom, and then proceeded to steal his city from him. We defended our holdings several times, and we begin this episode with a huge 1,000 army on the prowl right outside our gates. They don't seem too interested in taking Onica Castle back, but once we leave the garrison, they will siege it, so let's consider a peace deal. They only outnumber us by about 2 to 1 now, and peace would cost nearly 1,600 dinars per day, so we fight on. I'm not sure exactly where they're going, but I suspect Poros is their next target. A group of 120 are raiding us, so we let the main force pass far enough away before engaging. This time, we look for a more suitable location for this battle. The open field to the left seems like a great place to set up, allowing our numbers advantage to play out.
Forward! And move! 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 Footman!
Their cavalry are upon us quickly, so we form a shield square. They are getting decimated, and we're taking nearly 0 losses here. Had we rushed in from the start, like the previous village battle, our losses would have been much higher. Only 8 losses by the end. As expected, they begin the siege on Poros. It will be some time before they commence the assault, so we head north to recruit a few more troops, heal up our wounded, and defend another village. This battle starts off quickly, and we have no time to set up our infantry. Charge command is given, and our archers are ordered to our right flank. Their archers are nowhere to be found, so we make quick work of their left flank with Satan's Tooth. By the end, we take only 26 losses, but defeat the enemy faction leader and remove 250 troops from the battlefield. Apparently one of our companion parties took Garios out, so we don't have the option to release him for relations game. At long last, we reach Athletics 175. We take Healthy Citizen for the final point into Endurance, raising our level cap for Athletics and Smithing up to 330. These will both come in handy. The army sieging Poros decides it's too difficult of a town to attack, so they change targets and siege Onica Castle instead. Later that night, they break off of their siege for some reason, and we cornered a part of them between the cliffs and the ocean.
You have nowhere to run now, Uressa.
We outnumber them by nearly 100 troops, but more importantly, we have the quality advantage as well. Normally, I would hesitate to take a battle like this, but we need to thin their numbers so we can go on the offensive once again. We must be careful as there are several hills and valleys present. If we position ourselves poorly, we could get stuck in a valley with enemy archers on an overlooking hill. Instead, we maneuver to an adjacent hill and try to draw them into the valley. We have range superiority at this point, so we form a shield wall with our infantry and push them forward, inviting the enemy to charge.
Infantry, make a shield wall! Soldiers! Forward! Whoa! Horsemen, move, move! Mounted archers, forward! Infantry, square!
Enemy cavalry approach, so we quickly switch to square formation and decimate them. Their infantry are now pushing off the hill, and we call for a charge from our cavalry, but hold our infantry firm. Infantry in square formation do a poor job doing damage, but an excellent job avoiding damage, which is perfect because our archers are in a commanding position and our cavalry are roaming freely, allowing both to do significant damage. The first wave is broken, and their reinforcements are being picked off by our archers. We take the victory easily, losing only 24 troops, but destroy well over 400 in the process. Our relations gain with the enemy is coming in nicely, with most of them being in the 40 to 60 range. Soon we will have no need to release them and can easily recruit them. We hit level 200 two-handed and get to pick the perk. This one is such an easy pick, as Thick Hides gives both our main character and our party's troops plus 5 HP. It's a no-brainer. As much as it pains me, we do need to sue for peace at this point. We have not had a chance to properly set Poros up, and our companion parties need a moment to hire new troops, so we bite the bullet and pay the 930 dinars per day. Poros is in great shape actually. We should really send Pharaoh a basket of fruit or some chocolates for making such a nice home for us to steal from him. The walls and orchards are maxed out already, prosperity quickly approaching 4,000, and loyalty soon to be at 100. We put a little bit of cash into the reserves and contemplate the priority for what to build next. Militia grounds is only level 2, so bringing that up will help with defending. The siege workshop would be nice as well, allowing the town to quickly deploy siege engines and not allow them to achieve siege engine dominance. The aqueducts upgrade would help raise prosperity even more. The fairgrounds will help keep loyalty up at 100 even after we leave. In order to save some time recruiting, we will borrow some garrison troops to refill our ranks. We take the best troops and leave back the weaker ones, allowing them to level up slowly. Now it's time to put our kingdom to use. We call in our companion parties as well as other members into our party and head south. We have nearly 1,000 troops in our army, which is more than enough to crack any defense in the game. Zeonica is the target here since it's very close to our other fiefs and would be easy to defend. We take a quick moment to complete a crafting order. Even though we fail, we pick up 2 more smithing levels and reach 313. The amount of XP from crafting orders at the high end is absolutely bonkers. We've already paid out over 10,000 dinars to the Western Empire, and that tribute stops today. And we recoup that lost revenue by taking Zeonica. They have over 600 defenders, so taking the walls down would be expedient here. Let's hit them with the trebuchet. Defenders are slowly trickling in and gathering on the outskirts, but they will need to outnumber us to initiate the battle. Against Ballista, we don't need all 4 trebuchets to achieve siege engine dominance, so we start once we built the 3rd one. The enemy reaches the tipping point for reinforcements and they start the back and forth dance. Archon Achios approaches us first, giving us an opportunity to recruit his clan into the fold. A double chat check pass of 100% to start off, very nice. Then a single chat pass at 100%, pretty standard so far. Then a 52% single pass, which we fail. We have one more chance still though. An 82%er, which we pass with flying colors. Let's see what the cost will be and what fiefs he is bringing to the table. A little over 500,000 dinars, which is not bad at all. Most likely they own a castle based on that price. We accept them into the kingdom and the enemy disperses once more. The battle will be delayed for now. We call Achios into our army, giving us a little more of a deterrent from attacking us. The defenders are really putting up a good fight and we struggle to gain the upper hand, even with 4 trebuchet. They can replace them as fast as we are destroying them, but on the positive side, we take out defenders with each siege engine that we take out. Taking out the walls will be a much harder proposition than we initially thought, and a massive army of nearly 1,300 come strolling in from the north. We are looking at well over 2,000 troops here, which would still be a winnable battle, but at a greater cost than we should allow. We outnumber the defenders more than 2 to 1, so we begin the assault. The walls are quite imposing, and they have several ballista that we need to contend with, as well as a single onager. We are taking heavy losses so far, but this is to be expected. Our main goal is to get the ram to the gates and force our way in. There isn't much use to us scaling the walls or going through the gates first, so we sit back, refill on arrows, and continue to pick defenders off the walls. If our main character goes down here early on, we could lose our entire army. The balance of power is not looking pretty, but we have plenty of reinforcements still, so there's no cause for concern yet. Our troops stopped going up the ladders, which in all honesty, I can't blame them for. It's a meat grinder up there at this point. At least some troops are breaking off and heading into the busted front gate. The enemy is drained to less than 30% of their total forces, so we switch to melee mode and put in some work. I had a flashback of the last two front gates we stormed, so I decided to pull back again and go with our troops this time, which proved to be the correct move. Now they are in full retreat and we simply need to clean them up. This onager operator just scored a nice hit on our troops, downing nearly 30 in a single shot. Fortunately, the battle is already over and all he's doing at this point is helping us level up our medicine skill since onagers only injure. The battle for the main gate tells a story of unspeakable horror that can only be brought out by war.
Well fought!
It also tells the story of the man with abs so strong he can plank on a battering ram. We end up with over 600 casualties, 250 of which are non-recoverable. Now we must storm the keep. The defenders are mostly low-tier troops and our legionary make quick work of them. Now the fun begins. We lost about 25% of our army and still have 2,000 enemy troops outside our gates. We reached level 175 leadership, which is another easy pick. Inspiring leader gives an influence discount for calling parties into our army, which is useless since we have nearly 2,000 influence. Uplifting spirits, on the other hand, adds plus 10 to our party size, so we take uplifting spirits. Zeonica is an amazing city with 4,500 prosperity and lots of good tier 3 buildings. The food situation is quite bad, so we should start with the orchard. The loyalty is still fairly low, so we set the daily project to festival and games, canceling the building construction and pick up an extra plus 3 to loyalty per day. We need to get to 100 before we leave, so this will help speed that up some. We have a bit of food stockpiled in our inventory, so to help the city recover quickly, we sell some of it off. Our engineer has finally reached level 75, which is one of those S tier perks. This will give all of our party a plus 50% increase to ranged weapon ammunition during a siege. The enemy sieges us with close to 1,300 300 troops, but not long after decide to break off and retreat. We follow them to try to understand why, and it's immediately clear. They ran out of food. This is a great opportunity to remove a tremendous amount of enemies from the field with significantly fewer losses on our end. The goal here is to distract them from reaching their hometown where they can resupply and recover their injured troops. We can bait them into chasing us momentarily, slowing their progress and incurring more losses by the hour. They lose enough troops that they no longer feel confident to engage us, so we ride ahead to cut them off from their home. We will wait until the last second to engage them. They have lost enough troops that they no longer ignore us and instead flee, going away from their town. We make a bit of a blunder here and allow our army cohesion to reach 0, and the parties that are spit out immediately engage the enemy. Had they not done so, we could have easily ridden this group down to 0 troops and taken all nobles into custody for free without a battle. But now we must fight in an open field. We outnumber the enemy by a fair bit, and the balance of power is heavily in our favor. Once again, the enemy refuses to climb the hill near them, so we set up our shield wall in front, archers behind them, and both cavalry detachments on our right flank. Our archers are shooting a lot, but not hitting anything, so we move them up closer. The enemy cavalry takes up position on the far side of the hill, isolating themselves from their own army. We take the initiative and charge our cavalry into theirs. They will not have any ranged support since the hill blocks their line of sight. Their cavalry are nearly decimated and ours nearly untouched. A great way to open the biggest battle of the campaign up to this point.
Horse, move! 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 Forward! Move! Arch footmen! Forward! Move! Archers! Mounted archers! Move! Move!
The enemy is still in a circle shield formation and has no cavalry support, so we take an aggressive position with our shield wall, slowly pushing up with the archers to the side, shooting from very close range. We also place our mounted archers on the hill overlooking the position, allowing for easy shots from above that will bypass some shields. The enemy quickly realizes they are in a difficult position and break formation, charging forward into our shield wall. We relocate our archers to the hill where we currently stand, then give our infantry and cavalry the charge command.
Move! Horse, move! Forward! Cavalry!
Our cavalry crash into the archer line and their army is nearly routed at this point.
Infantry! Soldiers! Foot forward!
Once again, we pull everyone back so as not to overextend and continue to pick off reinforcements from a distance.
Foot move! Formal one! Infantry! Forward! Moving! Forward! Move! Cavalry!
The final charge command is given and they are overran in short order. We lose just over 120 troops, but remove an army that once stood strong at 1,300. This battle was the crowning achievement in this campaign thus far. We pick up 25 troops post-battle for free, taking our net casualties to even lower than 100. We catch this guy raiding one of our villages and lay down the auto-resolve hammer on him. 16 losses to save a few minutes is worth it in my books. He also has 25 troops to recruit, so we actually pick up troops by taking him out. A small army of 600 is sieging Zionica, which is laughable. The town is already having trouble with food since we conquered it, so we don't want the siege to continue and start the battle immediately. For once, the enemy takes the hill for a solid defensive position. Then shortly after, they leave the hill for the flat area in front of the hill. I don't know why. Tailworlds, please adjust this. This battle is shaping up to be just like the previous one, so we follow the same steps. Send the shield wall forward with archers on their flank. Position cavalry on our right flank and counter their cavalry, keeping them off of our archers.
Horsemen, forward!
We draw their cavalry into a little nook that has cover from the enemy archers, but allow our horse archers to sit atop the hill nearby and dominate them. I really enjoy mounted combat when I don't have to chase enemy cavalry down. The risk of being one shot is diminished significantly since there's no speed damage bonus and we can mow through their ranks easily. Once again, their cavalry are obliterated and we take minimal losses. Normally we would pull back and allow our archers to do some work, but the enemy ran up the middle and we have an opportunity to hit them from two sides, one with our shield wall and the other with our melee cavalry. Everything is going quite well until we take another Manavlian hit to the arm and go down. It seems the only thing that can stop us are the Manavlians. We wipe out nearly 600 troops and lose 150 in the process. We have now removed roughly 2,500 troops from the enemy's roster, which means it will take some time before they are able to mount a solid offense. Now is the time to push forward and take as much as we can. We head north to Jalmaris and begin the siege. Shortly after, we are attacked by a defending force slightly larger than our own. We have the defender's advantage this time though, and we take a position on the hill nearby. You know the drill by now. Infantry square, archers on the hill, cavalry out of the way, off to the flank and ready to countercharge. Note to self, maybe don't take such a big swing next time.
Forward! Cavalry! Forward!
Their infantry reach our square, and our archers continue to wreak havoc. Half of their infantry charge past our square and right into our archer line. We countercharge with our cavalry, and soon after their line breaks. Not even their shields can save them now. Time to pull the cavalry back before they get slaughtered. Their reinforcements are coming in very staggered, allowing our archers to concentrate shots on the closer part of their line and rout them easily.
Your skull!
Our armor is no match for the enemy's legionary's mace, so we go down once again. We end the battle having taken just over 140 losses and defeating over 700 troops. Had we not gone down to the legionary, we could have had even better numbers. We pick up another 33 troops post-battle, which should help for the upcoming siege assault. We are outnumbered by the defenders, but the quality of troops on our side is significant and the balance of power is still in our favor. We complete the third trebuchet and the siege engine duel begins. We quickly overwhelm the defenders and should have no issues knocking down the wall. Both walls are down at this point and there are no enemies waiting for us nearby, so we take our time and construct Onager for the upcoming siege. Of course, right when I say that, a huge army of 700 troops comes strolling in from the south. We are in a great position to take the town by assault, so we begin. We place all melee troops in group 1 and archers into group 2. We will advance slowly with our shield wall in the vanguard, supported from the rear by our archers. It won't be difficult to achieve local superiority near one of the wall breaches.
Right! Forward! Look good! Move!
Our archers pour a tremendous stream of arrows and bolts into the defenders, and our shield wall soaks up the enemy projectiles. Things are going according to plan so far. The melee defenders at the breach will come out if we go in slightly then back out, allowing us to get easy picks. We eventually get picked off by some arrows and go down. Since the walls were breached already, we can easily storm the town with minimal losses. We end up losing only 36 troops. Now all that's left is to assault the keep, which causes another 12 losses. Surprisingly, the prosperity is at about 3,400, so it's still a decent town. The priority will be orchards for prosperity gain, 1 level of fairgrounds to get 100 loyalty, another level of siege workshop to make sure we can match the enemy siege engines, and then another level of militia ground for free defenders. We have quickly grown from no fiefs to owning 7, 5 towns and 2 castles. However, we do need to defend Jalmares if we want to maintain that number. We have a full line of ballista to help, but the challenge here will be defending the wall breaches we created when taking the town. We start by sending some ballista bolts down range at the enemy. They are rushing the breaches so quickly for us to make good use of the ballistas, so we switch to our bow to help hold the line. It seems like the majority of enemy troops are untrained, low tier, as we are easily defending. The right flank seems to be in good shape, so we rotate to the left to check in. They are pushing quite a few troops in, and it's hard to get good shots since they are sprinting through the gap. Fortunately, our shields hold the left breach, and we can now get some easy shots off. Not long after, the enemy calls for a general retreat, and the assault has been thwarted. We lose just over 70 troops and defeat more than 700. I thought the breaches would give us more trouble than that. For the first time in this run, we have troop numbers that are close to that of the enemy, 2,700 against 3,700. We actually own 2 more towns than they do as well. They want 2,300 dinars per day for peace, which is quite extreme, but we do need a moment to let our companion parties fill up on troops. We spend a few days in Jalmaris boosting the loyalty up to 100 and give our companions time to load up on more troops. While traveling across our kingdom to recruit more troops, we come across Archon Saratis and